Hello again, everybody, and welcome into CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. I'm Nick Wisniewski, and I'm joined by the Philo award-winning broadcaster, Kevin Bryant, and we are here on the pitch for Skyline Boys Soccer, the defending state champ.
Yeah.
Skyline Boys Soccer, they're taking on the Huron River Rats in a crosstown rivalry on an unusually warm September afternoon. Kevin, what are we looking for tonight?
Well, welcome, man. Thank you for that introduction. That's awesome. On a new field. We're breaking in the field here. The defending state champs, they're reloading right now. Chris Morgan, it doesn't take him too much time, though. He's the dean of coaching when it comes to soccer in this town, in this state. He's good at it. Luis Gomez on the other side, though, he's bringing in a 4-year starter in Dante Bailey. He's a striker we're going to keep an eye on. I'm just looking forward to getting ready for the game of the week, man.
As usual, Game of the Week coming up. Stick around. We've got kickoff in 1 minute. And hello again, everybody. Welcome into CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. We are moments away from kickoff here at the Eagles' Nest. Just waiting for the ball drop. I believe the Eagles will have first possession. Once again, we're talking about the defending state champion Skyline Eagles. Record is currently 5-2-3 on the season. They've done their best to get the most out of the early portions of the season, playing early and often these first couple of weeks.
Yeah, and they're really starting those crosstown rivalries right now. I mean, this, and then a week from tonight, or next Thursday, is when they'll be taking on those Pie-High Pioneers.
And I believe that the River Rats are the ones starting off this evening. Rats wearing the white, Skyline Eagles in their home dark blues. I believe the Rats have Pie-High at the end of this week.
Yeah, Thursday. So, yeah, it's crosstown matchups are starting already.
Yeah, you got to get them get at it. Both these squads very familiar with each other, aside from always playing each other conference-wise. The Rats and the Eagles actually run into each other the last 3 years in the state tournament in districts.
That really says a lot about the play of the soccer in this area, the youth soccer that, you know, gets up to the varsity level. A lot of good players in this area.
Most definitely, and it's been that way for years. Even when I was playing, you know, young club sports way back in the day, Ann Arbor was the spot. Ann Arbor is where you wanted to be.
Yeah, you come down here on a Saturday afternoon when it's not a Michigan home game, and you still got a lot of traffic. You go down there on Fuller Ave, or if you're, you know, across town, maybe in Wide World of Sports when they get play all year around. There's just a lot of venues that these coaches take advantage of with these players. And like you said, it's actually gone on where a couple of the Eagles have gone on and played professional sports, soccer. And going to several of their websites, you can check out some of the alumni that have played on both of these teams.
Oh, yeah. No, again, soccer is just a huge deal out here in Washtenaw County, and Ann Arbor's just got a great history of it. And a lot of success at the high school ranks, and a lot of success for Skyline over the last 11 seasons under Coach Chris Morgan as well.
And then on the opposite side, side of the field over there is first-year head coach in Luis Gomez, and he's really familiar with the players, being a JV coach, but he still has to get his feet up under him. I mean, you're not just going up against your rival; you're going up against the guy that is at the top of the food chain.
Right. That's a great way to look at it. That's a great way to call it. And as a first-year coach, that's can be a little intimidating as far as things go. But you're right. Coach Gomez is familiar with the program. He's been a part of it. He's been working towards it. Now he's been handed the keys varsity style.
Now that the play is out in the middle of the field, we might be able to get a quick look at the netminder for the River Rats. Is that in the net that's starting off? Is that the senior? Is that Tibbetts?
Yep, that's Tibbetts out there.
Tibbetts out there.
That's Tibbetts out there.
So Patrick will probably start. We've been reading how they go back and forth with the netminders.
Yeah.
And I was asking you, Nick, I mean, you played the sport. I mean, what kind of advantage or disadvantage you think that might play into the other side for Coach Morgan?
For Coach Morgan, well, obviously you're going to want to pepper those guys early, and they're both their opportunities. If you can get at either one of these guys quickly before they can get really settled in and get like a strong feel for the game, that's going to be the game plan there. That said, as we've talked about, Huron's defense is really, really strong. They bring in a lot of experienced backs, and their backs are so good back there, and their squad is so comfortable with them. They're known to play 3 attackers. So that says a lot about the amount of confidence that they're putting in those players back there. And they're upper-level goalkeepers as well. Tibbetts is a senior. Elliot Goebel, who we may or may not see in the second half, he's also a junior. So there's a lot of experience back there.
Good point in mentioning that we may not even see the second netminder, depending on how hot of a hand that Tibbetts displays here of guarding the pipes. I mean, he's a guy, of course, a senior, and you talked about the Bernstein, Jake, and then Samir Yasser in front. Here we go right now. You see that defense? Just take it out of the back of the end zone, and that's Bernstein right there, right on call, 17, captain of the Rats, showing good footwork.
And this Peter Pecoit's the attacker for the Skyline Eagles, just a young guy. Coach Morgan actually described him as a jitterbug, and we saw that a little bit about there. He got his feet on the ball. He made some head fakes, but again, those defenders were not falling for that. They weren't going there. And after the cross, head right into the net. It looks like it was Caleb Sowers with the head on that one. We'll check it out again on the replay. But that was just a textbook cross out of that far corner.
Who triggered that? Who was the trigger? Who kicked that in there?
I think it was
because that was
Sowers
pinpoint.
coming in. Yeah.
I mean, come on, that was pinpoint. So you say it was Sowers that came on the kick, the corner kick?
No, I couldn't see the number.
Okay, that's who I was asking about. Yeah, if we see that replay, I mean, because Chris Morgan can't dial that up any better, man. I mean, come on, that's FIFA soccer playing with the circle button. I mean, seriously, right? I mean, the header right in the net. What's up with that?
It was perfectly executed, like you said. I mean, that's a textbook play. Every coach loves seeing that. Every coach loves seeing that perfect bend, that bend coming back towards the goalkeeper, but like right around that yellow line there, just exactly what you want. And you've got those aggressive attackers going after that sort of a play.
And right now we're about to take a look at this replay. The action that you really want to focus in on is in the front of the net. Yeah, it's a beautiful pass in, but watch this catch. And I mean, the header in there by 12 with Sowers, that was incredible. But the execution of the kick from the corner that really set that up.
Well, it all starts with the kick, and obviously the aggressiveness of Sowers, but it really seemed like, I mean, that kick went over and got behind 3 or 4 of the River Rat defenders, and I don't know if they were just in the wrong position, if they may have misjudged it a little bit, but it sure seems like there could have been a little more aggressive play from the defenders on that. Not to take anything away from Sauer or the kick, but having those defenders back there, really necessary to get at least a body on that attacker.
Well, we had just spoke about the execution of the Huron defensive back line. Those guys, Bernstein and Yasser, they didn't do that job that we had just spoke about. But, yeah, that comes into play. But it was that pass, man, I tell you, that really sets ours up. And, I mean, the assist on this one, that's the key to this whole goal. I mean, it set him up because you got the little bit of wind coming in, and that right there kind of played into it because it's going against the wind.
And you can see Sowers coming in from really deep. He cuts in the whole way, and he's got a shorter man on him, and then went at it. And here we go again. No sooner do we go to a replay, but obviously Skyline comes across, puts another ball past Patrick Tibbetts. That looked like it was number 27, Bryce Shaner.
And I think it was on the goal there. They called, the announcer might have called 16, maybe. Let's take a look when we're looking at the replay.
We see him coming up, long shot. No, you're right.
And that's a 20-yard boot. That's a strike.
That's a great foot. That's a great foot. And that's honestly Skyline doing kind of what we mentioned just a couple of minutes ago. Tibbetts hasn't gotten his feet under him yet. He hasn't seen a whole lot of shots, and there's a long shot from a distance and puts one right by him.
Well, I mean, just because there's two people in the booth here, and one of them said that Tibbetts wasn't going to get, to the bench. It was you. Kiss
true.
of death,
True
man.
enough. Oh, the
it
jinx
only
will,
took
the jinx
you
will get you.
6 minutes into the
jinx will get
season,
you.
and Mr. and Mrs. Tibbetts, his name's Nick.
You got to start the jinx out right. You got to start the jinx out on a strong foot.
Strong.
It's not raining yet. How about that?
Oh, wow. Here we go, folks. We're going to have one of those Michigan days where get all the elements involved here. We're sweating now.
Well, it's already hot enough.
Yeah.
Rain would actually be an improvement.
Second half, we're going to be in here. Hey, can you close the windows?
And here we see Skyline back on the attack. Quick transition there for the Rats. Tried to send it to his forward man.
That's Zolan Batista out there in the point for the River Rats, number 9, shadowing the ball. And for Gomez, the strategy of strong defense and long possessions and turnovers is not come to fruition just yet.
No, not quite yet, but I mean, making those stops and then trying to transition quickly is what we did just see. And if they get those long passes a little bit closer, that'll be important. But Coach Gomez did actually talk to me at length about groups working in tandem, groups working together, maybe not necessarily trying to get those big bomb plays, but like what we're seeing right here, groups staying close and working those triangles. And there you see a nice give and go coming out the outside. Quick move, past it right, nice shot there. Dante Bailey up all the way back from center mid. Great give and go, nice reception, and plays right off of Daniel Bennett, the goalkeeper for the Eagles, and he gets his team within one goal.
Now this comes off for the defensive end. Dante Bailey before that took the steal, goes into the pass into the middle, give and go action, and then he just plays with the netminder here. I mean, fish out of water there. Easy, easy goal.
Great touch on that foot, and just a great job of sending him perfectly. No offsides called on that one. Just a great play all around by the River Rats. And that's what I'm sure Coach Gomez will tell his guys. Like, look, when our players do run the way they're supposed to, when we do work in triangles, when nobody gets left behind and the transition works, that's what we can do every single time.
And it really, again, starts on the defensive end, but watch a 4-year starter, an all-state player, use his teammate to set himself up. I mean, that pass all was for him. And I mean, to really shake somebody on their backside, that's what you just did, Mr. Bailey. Man, that might be a key player of the game.
And Bennett did a great job of cutting off the angle, but still just a wonderful shot, just the right amount of touch on that one.
And you gotta love the not just the poise, but the balance that Bailey showed on that play. Didn't get too excited, as maybe a younger player would. Here's a senior coming in, and he's going up against a team that he definitely wants to put the goal in the net. He has a great opportunity because it's not just cutting down on the score, but it's that momentum stifling goal that the Rats needed.
And this is still early enough in the season, still early enough in this game where, you know, a younger player, less experienced player might do that. You know, they might put a little too much boot under it and kick that field goal as opposed to just that really nice touch that he put on that to go far side past Bennett.
There's just usually never too much action in these soccer games. You could just sit back, you know. we really don't have too much things going on, folks. Man, the last 4 or 5 minutes, though. What's up?
Yeah, back and forth. I mean, so far this has been a great job with possession. And then you'll see the River Rats here doing a really nice job of taking the ball away. And you can see them with numbers here moving up again.
Nice steal there coming in through was Christopher Emerson for the Eagles.
Yeah, you don't see either squad getting too caught up in trying to go for those long bomb passes. Just a lot of really nice possession on both groups right now. See a little bit of a dangerous rollout there to Dante Bailey.
You see the confidence that Bailey plays with, though. I mean, I don't know if that's just his demeanor, but he nonchalantly gets up to that ball, but he was still faster and in control.
Yeah, big kid back there on that D-line. He's exactly what you want for one of your defenders. Yeah, you can see him really anchoring that middle, keeping his eye on every aspect of what's happening. Trying to figure out if it's time for me to go up. Do I stay back? Do I keep an eye on the Skyline defender?
And he does
Skyline attacker.
A good job of setting the other players as well. You know, letting them know and sharing his confidence with them that he has their back, that he knows what position they should be in.
And he's not afraid to switch the field there, as we saw there, shooting right up to Riley Masajewski.
Versatile player.
Yeah, that's everything you want in one of your senior captains, for sure. Was All-State honorable mention last year. It seems like right now he's playing a little more center back versus a defensive mid right now. He's really pulling back, and he is directing traffic an awful lot.
Also substitution for the Eagles, number 16, Calvin.
We got a few substitutions, as we knew we'd see. Once again, I can't stress enough, man, it's really hot.
It's hot out there,
warm.
and you know that first 10 minutes of any match, you're going on a lot of adrenaline as well. A couple good goals that were scored. Only really one scoring opportunity off of the one corner we've had. But solid match from both teams so far.
Most definitely, most definitely. I think we will continue to see those substitutions. Both coaches have said that it's really important to get their guys with their feet under them. Even if even if this evening wasn't so hot, it's really, really important to get everybody out there and get everybody a chance to play.
So who's going to cramp up first? Is it going to be the rookie coach? Is he going to be having a player or two cramp up, or is it going to be the veteran?
I think it's going to be me. I might be the one that cramps up first.
Yeah, I can tell, man. I mean, you're
going with the water here, but man.
The trainer did look at you earlier.
I need to get one of those packs for sure.
First announcer getting taped up, folks.
There's a nice pop into the corner there. Tibbetts comes in and gets his feet, slides under it. Nice job. Great aggressive play there by Tibbetts.
Yeah, and he didn't have time to think about it, really. He had time to react, and it's a good reaction there coming out of the net. Real decisive play.
You know, sometimes, especially the goalkeeper, though, not a good thing to have time to think. Sometimes it's just all about instinct, and what do you do? You know, the most aggressive plays you're going to make, especially when you're coming out on something like that, it's really easy to sit and think, do I go, do I wait, do I go, do I wait, do I go, do I wait, versus split-second decision, and you just jump right out and make that sliding tackle. So Baptista pushing forward on that one.
It looked like Nico Chow on the steal there coming in. And again, it's that Huron defense that's going to get them back into this match. That's what they rely on. That's what they're known for.
No, yeah, even when you have one of your defenders or defensive midfielders score your goal, you know what the strong points of your squad are. Whereas Skyline still taking their time, still trying to get a feel for things, but playing that possession soccer there, not letting anything get away from them.
Yeah, and a couple of these are some of the newer players to the field too. So not just getting into the action, they got to get into it mentally as well too. So they're taking their time, playing back and forth, and really trying to make sure with their passes to get going. And here we go now.
There you see Caleb Sowers getting sent into the corner once again. Really nice job getting played off that ball by the Huron defender, though.
Caleb Sowers has some wheels on him.
Sure does.
I mean, we saw the header earlier, but on that play, we saw the speed.
Here we have another corner kick there for the Skyline Eagles. Whiffs on that long shot.
Yeah, we're going to have to save that one for the blooper room. That was a nice one.
And ball's moving, ball's bouncing. That's totally understandable.
No,
but
it's not.
the trick is you need to get
no.
instead of that side swing, the trick is to try to get your head over that ball in a way that you can put your foot on it as well. And that's how you really get that strong back foot planted and put something in. That the whirly dervish there, you try to stay away from that.
So you're saying that he tried to whirly derby-ish it?
I think that's what he looked like he tried to do. Patent pending on that term.
I like it, too.
Substitutions in for the
Hashtag
Number
whirly
2,
derby-ish. Come on now.
Inoki, and number 22, Jake Watkins.
Another series of substitutions coming in now.
And that's another young player coming in for the Rats, Kantori Inoki. He shows some speed right there coming in, number 2.
Yeah, you keep mentioning the young players for the Rats. Apparently they have 16 players. This is their first varsity experience.
That's incredible.
That's really something. That's really, really something.
So you're saying in a couple of years the state championship might be on the other side of this town?
Could very well be. And there we saw the whirly derby-ish right there. And to be fair, he did get his head planted down a little bit, just whiffed.
I think he just really wanted to hear you say that again.
That's very possible. Might not be the last time.
Is anybody mic'd up tonight? Did you mic up anyone down there? Come on now, you know. CTN Sports, we bring out all the tricks for you folks. You never know.
I think our good friend Pete, he always wants the officials to be mic'd up. He loves to hear what's going through their heads.
Be a quiet mic.
There it is. That's the softball. That's the softball. Just popped it up for you right there.
I didn't know which one to go with.
We see Skyline playing that ball up again.
And you can see Bailey, he's strong with both feet. I mean, he was passing that time with his off foot, and it just didn't even look like it. It's just a smooth player.
Great play up there by the center back there for Skyline, keeping the ball in, letting them keep that possession.
Some good passing and catching. Look
nice
at that.
Chip right in. Oh, well played there. Put in by Christopher Emerson. Senior and fourth-year player Christopher Emerson on that one.
Yeah, but look at the pass, man. We were just talking about the passing and catching going on. Was that 11 on the pass coming in? Yeah, it was. Check out this dime.
Yeah, did a great job of getting possession of it, getting hold of it, and then just that nice little send between those two Rat defenders. One bounce for Emerson.
Mario
Not much Tibbetts can do. Perfect.
That's who was on the pass there, man. That was a nice drop.
Yes.
Nice drop in there. And, man, these Eagles are on fire tonight. I mean, and right back at it, Nick. Look at this turnover.
Hard shot there in on Tibbetts. Comes from Tyler Warren on that one.
Tibbetts has had to be on his point the entire match because, I mean, the ball has not really been on the Hurons' attack side all evening long.
No, even that one opportunity that Huron had, like that was
Just a
pretty
bust out,
short-lived.
right?
Yep.
Time of possession is all Eagles so far.
Yeah, they've been in the attack zone for a very, very long time. Most of this match, definitely the last 7 to 8 minutes, we'll say, unofficially. And that's going to take its toll on those defenders for the River Rats. Those guys are going to be tired. They are going to start to get that lactic acid, like you said.
And
that was
just
just
a sloppy
great
play there,
once
right
more.
there. I mean, well, the turnover again. And what you're saying, Nick, you said earlier, it's a warm evening.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time for just a little bit of a break? Maybe to bring your guys on the side. I know it's halfway through this first period, this first half, but I mean, right now, you want to maybe slow things down if you're Coach Gomez.
Yeah, I feel like it still might be a little bit too early for that. It is only 3-1, but you're right. You would want to at least talk to your guys and give them a little bit of a pep talk about how we can step up, get the ball, play it up in transition a little bit more. But as far as just a break, as far as a timeout, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Halfway through the first half. personally, but I'm in the booth and he's down there for a reason.
So how many players did Skyline have to replace off of a defending state championship team?
I'm pretty sure I wrote that down. We can go over that, but quite a few. Graduated 13 players last year.
13 players. And I'm going to say it's Chris Morgan's practices that are making these other younger players come up to the varsity level game ready. And we're seeing it tonight to replace that many players off a stellar squad that you know wasn't just a one-hit wonder. Those kids were playing together for a while. So these kids that are behind them, they must have learned and gathered some of that game speed and knowledge in practice.
Well, I think another big aspect of what they've done and how smooth the transitions are from one squad to the other is they've got really strong leadership. They saw really strong leaders last year, leaders that took them throughout their entire time. Let's take a look at that one last time. Their nice send over into Emerson. Emerson never takes his eyes off it. Get that one bounce, and then a shot just right over Tibbetts. And that's what I was talking about with Tibbetts. I feel like if he breaks one more foot forward, he stops that. He falls
so
on
you
that.
anticipate where it's going based on the angle that's coming in is what you're kind of saying?
I think it's a little bit of that, but even that word anticipate, I don't think that a really strong goalie anticipates anything. A really strong goalie is instinct, and then they just go.
Okay.
Instinct and attack.
Okay.
I'm not saying that Tibbetts isn't a strong goalie. I just think that a little bit, he's been a little indecisive a couple of his opportunities here so far this first half. But credit where credit's due with the Eagles, they are very aggressive.
I had to go back
and they're putting the foot on the ball exactly how they need to.
Exactly, because the execution on the offensive end, just as much as we could talk about the deficiencies that are coming from the Huron side right now, because that pass, my friend, right on point. One foot left or right, and that's not a goal we're talking about. We're talking about a side out, or a gobble, because it looks like he was coming in to just swallow that ball up. But you're right. It's collectively right now. We've mentioned the fact that the Rats, they hang their hats on their defense, and right now their defense is letting them down.
Yeah, I would think that's part of it. But again, you know how strong the Eagles have been is really, for me, the story of this game. They've really executed, like you said, and they've made the most out of their opportunities that they've been given here today, and they've created some really nice opportunities for themselves. They've been patient too. We talked about time of possession, right? Like it's not just like a couple of one shots and then they're done. They've been patient. They've been working the ball around, as we're seeing right now. They're waiting for some motion.
And they're moving it up the field. That's what you'd like to do. And the way that they're possessing the ball and really it just takes Huron out of their game plan as well too. So it's twofold. And I like the way that when they have opportunities, they put the pedal to the metal and they go right to the net.
Well, and it also helps that from what we've seen a lot from the Eagles, they've got some really creative players. You talked about Mario Sims. We saw what he can do. We talked about
Sowers.
Yep, Sowers, obviously great finisher. Pecoitz is another one of those names. Chris Emerson, who once again 4th year playing varsity soccer here. These guys have seen it and they can make a lot of creations wherever they're at. We got another corner there from the Eagles. Seen a lot of number 7 Warren Tyler so far this evening.
That was a good play there by Yasser. We've mentioned his name earlier, but he's been a little ghost, not been on the spot, number 23 for the Rats. Came to life there on those 2 plays.
Dante Bailey coming up the corner kick or goal kick very soon after a couple more substitutions.
Is he showing off?
Yeah, he knows the camera's on him.
I thought he was actually looking at you. You came up walking up to the CTN, van just like that, man.
It's been a minute for me. You see Bailey go with the long shot. It's always a precarious play trying to take that really long goal kick and just hope that your midfielders are a little more aggressive or a little taller. There's a lot that goes into winning the ball like that. And a lot of times it's a dangerous play. You're going to knock heads. You might get some elbows in the ribs as 2 players go up. Here he goes wide. Sends it right back into the middle. Nobody there for the Eagles on that play, though.
This is when the Rats have to attack on the counter, is when Emerson takes himself out of play and comes strong in. And then when there's a turnover of possession, Rats are not flipping the field.
Right.
They're not igniting their offense. They're really thinking as opposed to reacting right now out there.
Well, Emerson is really in an interesting spot. He was initially playing defensive mid, but now he seems to be playing just straight defense where he's at. So he's picking the spots. You know, he's taking a look at the field. He's waiting for his opportunities where he can jump in, or staying back and marking up those those attackers.
And he does cover some ground. I mean, so when you're a four-year player like that, I'm sure that Coach Morgan is giving him the green light to make those type of decisions.
Of course.
Based on what's going on out in front of him.
Of course. And you see that one more play by Trampler there trying to center. Couldn't quite find anybody.
And Hamoud there on the defense for the Rats.
Substitution for the River Rats. Number 20.
14:32 left to go here in this first half. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for CTN's inaugural Game of the Week this season.
Got a full slate of games, too. I mean, when you look at it, and we tweeted it out, but I think we're going to have to do it again. We're touching a lot of different sports, and you can see right there on your screen all of the social media you can follow us by, but definitely I'm excited about the variety of sports that we get to bring to you guys this year.
Yeah, as usual between the three schools, you know, so much going on out here in Ann Arbor High School athletics. You're talking field hockey, soccer, water polo, football. Obviously, will be on that slate. And yeah, we've got some good games coming up this week or this season for sure.
Here on River Rat football.
I think that's on the docket. I'm pretty
River
sure.
Rats, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Those River Rats on that football field. They're strong 1-1 now, and
The Rats football,
yeah. Hey, they broke the Snide. Everybody knows it's the biggest story in town. A lot of people want to talk about who's playing quarterback for Michigan. Lions epic finish. No, it's really going on. What's happening over there at the corner of
all about what's going on in
Fuller and
Getty's
Huron
Philly.
Parkway
That's right.
at Riverbank Stadium? It was live that night, too.
Yeah?
I'm telling you. I got a chance to go over to that game, and I tell you, we might have some snippets that we can put on CTN, but got a chance to go in the locker room and hear Coach Mack, the new head coach for the River Rats, and how he fired the bunch up. It is, 30 for 30, that type of – it's truly some stuff you need to hear, man.
Substitutions in for Eagles. Number 15, Jackson and Boza.
And back to action here. Rats looking for somebody to throw that ball in, but everybody's marked very strongly. Great job there by by the Eagles to keep an eye on things. Paul Trampler once again trying to make something coming up the middle.
Trampler's only a sophomore out there, and he's a youngster that's found his way again from all of those depletions on the roster for the Eagles.
He's a speedster. We've seen him coming down that aggressive attacking corner. We've seen him coming back, playing exactly where he needs to be to man up that defense. Boot there by Daniel Bennett.
One of the few times we've seen the Rats on the attack, and just like that, the field gets flipped.
Yeah, I think we said Bennett's name maybe twice here so far this evening.
Oh, he's asleep back there.
Oh, that
Here
one
we go again, though.
Snuck by everybody on that one. Great aggressive play by Bennett there, though. Asleep, not so much. Then there it is right there. That's that instinctual, aggressive move. He didn't think twice about it. He didn't wonder about what he should do. He didn't have anybody yelling at him. He went right out, made that slide, and gobbled that ball up.
Well, that was strictly, I got to get there.
Yep.
And that was total effort by the netminder. I love the way he finished that play off. He sold himself out for the team. Watch this go down strong for the ball.
And that really is a race to that ball. If Baptista gets there first, that's another easy goal for the Rats. And then it's a whole different ball game at that point. Great job by Bennett to be aggressive and get out there and grab that thing.
And similar to the goal that was scored by the River Rats, similar play. Bennett this time, he closed the ground that one extra inch to make the save.
Yeah, that's a great call. Right you are. Here we see some midfield possession here by the Rats. But there's that little bit of long send versus dribbling and trying to stay together, trying to stay compact.
And those passes aren't effective this evening. I mean, maybe against some other opponents, but the Eagles are closing the distance off, and that's something that maybe at halftime the coaching staff of the Rats could point out, that maybe a little bit more dribbling and shorter passes.
Well, it's not like the Rats are even used to playing inferior opponents. This Saturday they played Troy Athens, who's currently #1 in the state. So they know what it's like to play some good squads right here, right now. So in the long run, well, it might be brutal here for a few days. In the long run, this is going to help them out a lot.
Yeah, explain that to a 17-year-old.
And that's the problem. It's tough to get that through kids' heads.
Right.
It's really tough to get through that some kids' heads. But as long as the squad buys in, as long as the leaders buy in, everybody typically will fall in line.
Until the squirrel goes. Squirrel! No, I'm kidding. Maybe.
Here we got some more substitutions here for the Rats. Baptista coming off the field. Baptista really one of their strongest offensive threats so far.
And he's really been pushing the effort onto when the ball does get down to the attack side for the Rats. I mean, even when the ball is getting played back to the goalkeeper, he's making sure that everything is on an urgent matter. If you're not going to get there, at least make the player think you're going to get him.
Right.
Get there. That way, you never know. You might have a whirly-durly.
Any strange bounce can happen and change the fortunes of this game at any moment. Well done, ball eaten up there by Emerson. Saw that coming. Great job by the Eagles as a whole, just pulling their entire
Look at that pass.
backfield come back. Nice little curve.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Nice little curve up to Trampler, who we've talked about a few times now. That's up to Bryce Shaner.
That's the thing, when they're on the attack, the Eagles, they look in unison. Everyone's moving at the same time. There's no one sort of really just standing around watching the action, and that comes from good coaching.
Yep. That's playing together, that's working together, and everybody just coached up properly. Expectations have been set.
Trusting your teammates. You know, that goes a long way. He's going to do his job. I know it, and I better be at my right position. Wow, look at Bailey.
Jackson Ambrosia staying on him, though. About half his size, but
I was going to say,
going
Bailey,
right after him.
He's like, can we say a Giannis? I mean, he's kind of taller than everyone out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, talking about Ambrosia there, though, I mean, he's only a freshman. He's probably still growing there. But, no, you're definitely right. Bailey's head and shoulders above everybody over there. With the exception of maybe Shaner there, who might come close.
Classic soccer body. Long, lean, skilled with both feet.
Yep, you want to have those long legs. They can get out there.
Speed, endurance.
And especially from a defender, if your guy's a little bit taller, he's, in theory, getting his head on those corners and getting those cleared out. You can see that last chance there by the Eagles.
Yeah, and this is something where it's a clear shot for Tibbetts to see. Easy for him. I mean, the ones that have gotten by him, he's had traffic in front of him, and it's been a tough pickup for him.
Yeah, it seems like he's definitely calmed down here a little bit the last 5-6 minutes. He's done a really nice job of playing the positioning properly and playing everything textbook the way you want to do it, getting down on one knee on that one, getting the two hands under it, making sure that there are no odd bounces, that he makes those stops and keeps his squad in contention here, only down 3-1. Bennett there with a big back spinny kick. Somebody got a little handsy there. Free kick there for the Eagles. Tried to rush that one a little bit. Chris Emerson did, but not so fast, as the great Lee Corso once said.
Substitution for the Rats, number 14, Joe Kim.
Eagles back at their possession game. We're doing a really nice job of give and goes, working in those compact triangles. Try to just make a quick little send there on that deep side. And here we go. Eagles with numbers, kicks it right by. Tibbetts with it, gets a hand on it, knocks it by. Great job there. Tibbetts left pretty much out to dry, but did a really nice job of staying down, staying with it, and punched that one away.
And he trusted himself, and he put himself, cut off the angle. last minute just stick his mitten out there and batted that ball away. Good effort there by Tibbetts.
100%. We've got Peter Pecoitz now about to take this corner kick. Waiting for his squad to set up. I think we might be getting another substitution there for the Eagles. It seems to be true. Says Ambrosia comes out. Pecoitz gets that great left boot on that one. He's just over the whole team, though. Yeah, just for a little dude, he put one into that.
Yeah, that one traveled.
Great job playing up there by Jake Carlson for the Eagles. You see Pecoitz muscling forward again.
I mean, we've seen Tibbetts a lot tonight, and that's probably his best action right there.
Yeah. Yep, did a great job of, like you said, staying with it, even though he may have been blocked out a little bit. You see him doing that exactly right, down on one knee, the other knee up and out, two hands, not getting fancy with it. Even though he is a senior, he's doing everything the right way. He's getting those fundamentals down. You don't want to leave anything to chance here this evening.
Especially at this part of the match. I mean, you're down to the final minutes of the first half. You don't want anything tricky to spoil what really has been a good solid 10 minutes for the Rats.
Definitely, and I would say that the way that they have been changing goalkeepers so much this season, he might be saying, like, I would really like to play the second half. I would really like to stick with what we're doing here in this big matchup.
Oh, he's definitely still in the match mentally as well as effort.
You see Shaner working his magic through several Rats, keeps the ball, pumps it up to Austin Sands there.
It's a good catch.
Yeah, great job receiving that ball. That Rat defense, though, swarming him.
Right there, right.
Eagles once again playing very patiently, being willing to work it back, find their senior captain, try to work it through. Maybe switch up the field before they send a big boot. Maybe a little too much pace on that last pass.
And it's just nice the way that the Rats, they're still in this match too. There's a good pass.
Great pass up ahead. Here we got an opportunity for the Rats. Goes alongside, gets it. Goal for the River Rats. Gets them within one here in that first half.
Amari Bowman off of the solid pass from Dejimo Coyote. That was some teamwork. Man, we got to see that play again. Sophomore to senior, solid pass, but the lead pass here, he let him run to the ball. Love that.
Well, it was huge that he could track that one down. And then just a great, once again, Bennett did a really nice job cutting off that angle, but hit just a perfect shot from where he was at. Perfect pacing on that. Just an excellent, excellent goal by Bowman right there. And he's got his team within one here on the enemy turf.
Well, that's what we're talking about. You were talking about the little things that Tibbet is doing, and I was just commenting on the Rats' just body language still being into this, and made a quick substitution at the point. They come out with Batista, and they come right back in.
And we saw a long pass from one senior captain to the other.
Yeah, and just to finish that point, the Rats, you know, this match isn't over by any means, have been playing a good, solid defensive play, and we said the defense would get them back into this match, and then took advantage of that opportunity.
Well, and while Huron hasn't had a lot of opportunities, they've done a great job on executing on those chances that they have been given.
They definitely, I mean, they've probably had, what, 4 or 5 shots? Two in the net.
Yep. Here we see Skyline, nice give into Peter Pecoitz once again. You see that strong left boot.
I mean, he couldn't even catch it. So they were going to get a corner off of that because the Tibbetts couldn't haul that one in. I mean, he would be out if he was playing dodgeball. That's an easy one, right? Come on.
Yeah, see Pecoitz come in, barely receives the ball, just puts a boot right on it. Doesn't even bother pulling it in, just kicks as hard as he can. Another strong corner, though. Great job by the Rats getting that ball out here with 1:24 left to go in this first half.
That looked like Chin on the play, another sophomore. For the Rats with the header. Here you go.
And here we got a big opportunity now for the Huron River Rats. Skyline defense coming back quickly, just probably heard the footsteps.
Chris Emerson
put a really nice shot on that, but Bennett was ready. He had that cut off, and it went right at him.
Oh, that's all Emerson there on the defense. You said that he could cover some ground, and boy, he wasn't in the picture, but he finished it off. And when he came back in there, it wasn't a clean shot. And I think the Huron defender kind of slowed up a little bit too much right there.
Yeah, he definitely needed to slow up to get his strides right to put any sort of effort onto it. Yeah. But I definitely think that he heard the footsteps coming. He heard just that train coming his way.
I mean, those are some huge tree trunks on that guy down there, Emerson. Christopher covered some ground, and yeah, I'm sure that there's some turf missing around the 20 down there.
Very well could be. And now with only
Bob Wellman will
14.
be calling them up. You know, this is brand new turf, my friend.
10 seconds remaining in the first
They only got
half.
10 seconds left here. We'll see if they even get this goal kick off. Not a whole lot of point to it, to be fair, with 3, 2, and 1 done deal in the first half. And that will do it for the first half action of play. And there has been a ton of action, Kevin. We got a 10-minute halftime to cut into right now, but we'll be back shortly for the second half of this exciting game of the week action.
Yeah. And they have mismatch day. They had it like it's coming up or it just passed. And I thought to myself, isn't that every day for this age? I think she's mismatch day every day.
I'm pretty amazed by some of the clothes I put the baby in that I think are going to be cute. And then I'm like, what was I thinking?
Did you know that CTN welcomes the members of the Ann Arbor City Council to Ward Talk? On the third Wednesday of every month, a different representative from one of the city's 5 wards joins us in the studio to discuss matters important to the people and government of Ann Arbor. Submit your questions for the next episode of Ward Talk by emailing ctn@a2gov.org or visiting our Twitter page at CTN Ann Arbor.
Hoarders! Flat Earthers! Mike Raffone! To a troll army! Autism is real! Palestinian politics! Baklava! Miss Washington! Beast forehead people! Demonic devices! Diverse viewpoints! Dynamic personalities! 30 minutes! Contact CTN to schedule your show on Access Ann Arbor! And I'm talking to you, buddy!
Catch up on FYI and other CTN programs at a2gov.org/watchctn.
Second half action here on CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. We've got the Skyline Eagles with possession of the ball and possession of the winning currently, up 3-2. Here we see those Rats coming out strong though.
Probably an easy halftime speech for both coaches, Nick. I'm thinking it was, go do the same. Get some water, orange slices, go do the same.
And it is still early enough in the season. Both of these squads, nobody's trying to prove anything at this point. It is all about building. I mean, really for Chris Morgan, what he often says, it's all building towards the tournament. It's always building towards districts. It's about what you can take away from lessons per game and even per half.
So you play a tough early season schedule, like playing the number 1 team in the state, and maybe playing the defending state champs back to back, and then rolling into a rival game that you definitely want to win. Man, that's what I would say an experienced coach would do, not a first-year head coach would do, man.
But, the thing that Coach Gomez has going for him on all of that is he does have young players. So this is the type of thing that molds those young players into winners. It really will toughen their mettle up. And even if they do take one on the chin like they may have Saturday, they're right back in this game. They're playing a high quality team against the Eagles, and they're right there.
And that builds confidence and character. And you learn from each match and every second that you're out there. And so you're right. Maybe some of those things that were pointed out in the film session between Saturday's match and the start of this match has made Coach Gomez a lot more thrilled and happy about this second half, because he's seen the improvement that his squad has done against some of this top-notch talent that he's facing him against.
Yeah, it's always about moving forward, building forward, especially when you've got so many young players, the way the River Rats do, the way the Coach Gomez does. So it is about molding those young men into those future superstars, those future possibly all-state players.
Well, you had goals by multiple players from no one was a multiple goal scorer, I should say.
Right.
We had goals scored by all types off of different plays. You had one off of a corner kick. You had one off of a quick turnover. I mean, Skyline basically was their goals came after possessions. The Rats, they came after quick turnovers, quick change possessions, and really one-on-one efforts against the goalkeeper.
Yeah, long bombs off of transitions, not the whole group in a compact way moving forward, but just big shots, home run shots, really.
And it does look like our question was answered about the netminder being changed. And it does look like Huron has gone to their, let's just say, younger goalkeeper, Elliot Goebel.
Yep. Junior goalkeeper Elliot Goebel. We'll see what he's made of here before long, because I can't imagine it's too long before the Eagles test this young man out.
And Tibbetts, he got a lot of good tape tonight. He showed where he could probably improve on a couple of the angles, but I tell you, once the traffic wasn't there, he was solid. He didn't make any kind of errors that would precipitate him to go to the bench. I mean, good effort. This is just probably part of the great game plan there.
Oh, definitely. I would say that this is most definitely just we're going to switch at half, and that seems to be Coach Gomez's MO here early on, and it might be throughout the course of the season. We'll see.
One thing that I just want to challenge that type of methodology and thought process is, what if you make that switch and then that other team peppers the net? Do you really feel comfortable about making a switch again? I mean, we're really forward thinking here, but I mean, that's what coaches have to be thinking, right?
I think you're proposing worst case scenario hypothetical there at that point. I would think that he leaves them in because of just what we were talking about just a couple of minutes ago. It's not necessarily about this game. It's about a game a month from now, 2 months from now, a game in the districts, a game in possibly the regional finals. It's all about moving forward in that regard. Nice. I think. And here we see that big foot right there by Bryce Shaner.
I think he left.
Goebel's heart might have been in his throat on that one.
Man.
That was just a really powerful shot from not too far out, and that was a strong field goal kick right there.
Oh, yeah. If he was on the football team, that's a 50-yard kick right there. I mean, that was a boot. And it made a different sound, like in baseball.
Right.
When somebody hits the ball differently. That came off of his foot like a howitzer.
Yeah, when you get that left foot planted like you're about to see him do, boom, there it is.
And it's off the screen, too. I mean,
yeah, he had some nice momentum moving forward. Right.
I mean, come on.
Still couldn't see it. Yeah, Shaner a great opportunity there. We'll see how much more aggressive he gets. Nice pass up to his midfielder there. A little bit of handsies-ness there from the Rat defender.
And that's the best thing, you know. I know that I'm jinxing us, but the best thing is we haven't seen or heard any kind of whistles. Very clean match today.
Yep.
And both teams are respecting and playing a very spirited match without fouling.
Yeah, whistles have been very few and far between, and even the whistles, a couple of whistles that we have had were pretty minor things. And you know, it might not even be anything about spirited sportsmanship. It's just clean soccer is what it is. It's just both squads playing really well. Both squads playing with their feet, staying with their guys, and not needing to grab or clutch or kick from behind or kick from the side. It's just really, really fundamentally strong soccer.
And it is September 10th. So if we're talking 6 weeks from now, and two teams are out here battling for not just a city crown, but maybe getting into position for district play, we might not have such a honorable match.
Yeah, you might be right about that. And here's the Eagles back on the attack, doing a great job passing it around.
It's Bailey just stepping through and putting his brakes on everything. What a play there.
Bailey continues to just will his way forward until he runs into that Eagle defender. I believe that was Shiomi Jensen that finally put a stop to the Bailey train.
I don't know if he put a stop or he just was in the way. I mean,
either way, he wasn't going forward
anymore. He gave
anymore.
it out for the squad. I know he did that. I mean, that was a yeoman's effort, really.
Right.
Jumping that
right.
way. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of guys to sign up for that task right there, but he did a great job of it and did stop Bailey from pushing forward anymore, because if he gets past him right there, it could be goal time. We did a little penalty right there. Just a dribbler making it into the middle of the field.
I think he tried to quick kick it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, it looked like even he caught some of his offenders on offensive players, attackers, off guard.
Yeah.
And it was smart thinking.
Yeah, even in a scenario like that, worst case scenario, it bounces around a little bit, and your guys got a little bit more opportunity. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough position for a free kick. What you want to do?
Number 21, Nico Chow.
You see the Eagles right back at it.
Yeah, it's really difficult now because you're at Skyline and you're just accustomed to seeing them in those white jerseys.
I've done it a couple of times now.
With the night, it kind of even looks like that dark green that sometimes you see the Rats in.
Yep. I do like those white unis though by the River Rats. They're really nice. The all white. I've always been a big fan of that. They're looking strong. They've got those TV numbers on the front. Super helpful for us as usual.
I love it.
Like it. Yeah, the all whites to me always look really pure. And plus, when you're done playing, you know you played some soccer.
Well, and
you're dirty.
And it helped them out in the beginning too, right? I mean, when it was blazing out here, I'm sure that those jerseys were a bit more comfortable out there.
That's a great point. True enough, versus the all darks that the Eagles are in, those Skyline blue from top to bottom. Yeah, that had to be a little bit warmer earlier. Here you see Shaner working his magic through 3 defenders.
Great job there. Just Bernstein
finally
riding
got played
him
off
out.
the ball, yes.
Oh, and Bernstein's going to get called.
He played a lot of body on that one, despite what he's objecting to right there.
It looked like he was losing his balance too.
Could have been.
I know that's what he was trying to show you too, but it did kind of look like he was stumbling down the way here.
See that one come out there. But yeah, coming back to Shaner, I really think that what the issue might have been was that Shaner had just put the moves on 3-4 defenders, as we're about to see here.
Yeah, he did it. He was weaving through.
So he gets the benefit of the doubt strictly because he's moving so well. And yet, I mean, towards the end, he may have lost his balance.
And it was contact, too, with Shaner that was coming through there that threw his balance off. So, I
feel like he threw a lot of hip on him.
Yeah.
That's my thought. And Shaner, being a bigger kid, just pushed him off with that hip is the difference.
Home rules, too.
Yeah. You'll see him walk off that time there for this 2-man wall. Blast just right off. He might have gotten just a little bit too much of the outside of that ball, a little too much spin.
Remember in the first half when Bailey had that breakaway, and we talked about how he didn't just overkick the ball? That's
Right.
what we looked at right there. It looked like Shaner had just too fast. Slow down.
Yep.
See it before you kick it.
Well, being an indirect kick, also part of the position or part of the problem is he needed that ball to get to him and exactly in stride the way he needed it.
Yeah.
But still, no, you're right. I think he lifted his head a little bit, as any good golfer knows. You can't lift your head, and just squeaked it off the side. But that's a tough indirect position right there for the Eagles. Long send up to the River Rats.
Yeah, but he's by himself. Come on, help him out, guys.
I liked it. He was calling for his midfielder to come up, pointing, directing traffic
Nobody
from
was
the
there.
forefront.
Nobody
from
was
the
there.
forefront.
Yeah.
It's like leading the charge,
Hello?
and then you're telling everybody what to do. Quick play up by Skyline. Shaner still working strong. Sends his man up there.
Oh, what a pass.
Great job cutting across.
got
Great
through.
job seeing your eye.
Wow, what a pass.
Outstanding play. Outstanding eyes there on the goal there by, I believe, is that Gabe Kellerman? Or Kelman, excuse me? Check that.
I think it
Kellerman.
was. I think it was Kellerman for a second. But it was a, we'll see. It looked like on the pass there was Sims, I believe.
You see Shaner sends him along.
Oh, it's Shaner.
Catches the defender a little bit flat-footed, off guard. I'm sorry.
And really caught the netminder off guard. That's how good of a pass that was. Poor communication, it looked like, from the back linesman, the defender there, and the netminder.
Well, and I think the defenders were just, I mean, when the young man fell down or was all, caught up in his cross-footing, then after that there was just nothing he's going to do.
We've seen 2 goals scored by the Eagles where it was right on the doorstep, and the patience by the strikers to wait for the ball to get there. It's been impeccable.
And speaking of patience and waiting it out, there we see the Eagles now. Or excuse me, the River Rats now. Put one in the net and keep this game close. I believe that's Mari Bowman once again.
Yeah, that's his second on the night. Boy, I mean, we were talking about at the start of the match the play of both teams of just the soccer in this area. And that's really off a turnover.
And, well, I mean, Baptista did a really great job of following the shot, and then Bowman just picks up the scraps, wide open net, hammers it in, and keeps his team close. Oh, still only down by 1 score.
And before that play, I was going to say that Gobel had just got himself out of the play, and we were just talking about changing the keeper. And that was a play where it just didn't seem to be into the match. And, it's 12 minutes into the second half, so, yeah, he should be into it, but just his body language didn't react as fast.
Yeah, again, with Goebel getting back to that last goal, unfortunately his defenders literally let him down a little bit, so not a whole lot he could do in that regard, but doing as best as he can. Once again, on short warm-up time. Like, he hasn't really had much warm-up, per se, since before the game.
Well, and once you're in the game, it's different from warming up on the sidelines.
Yes.
I mean, once the balls are coming at you, the cage, it feels different. The wind is different. And you know that once you make a decision, it's final.
Yep.
So it's on plays like that and maybe we're looking at, I'm looking at the glass half empty, but Coach Gomez is like, I got 2 guys that I can put out there at any time and I can trust. And maybe that's a part of the development of the 2-keeper system.
Yeah, and, looking at it from the other end, yeah, he does always have 2 guys. I mean, and this is a long season, and this is still high school. Like, kids get hurt, kids get sick, kids go on vacations. And
Kids
then
get bad grades.
Yeah, kids get, not these kids. These kids are all great, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it's soccer. It's not football.
I'm sure they're all great. But no, you're right. The unexpected can and will definitely happen. And, you look over at Skyline's roster, they've only got 1 goalkeeper, right? And that can be a scary prospect if, again, he twists an ankle, catches some sort of bug at school, something like that. So having
Kids
2
don't get
feel
sick
good.
at school.
Oh, my goodness. If only that were true. And 25-32 left to play here in this second half. This hotly contested match here between the Eagles, defending state champs Skyline Eagles, and the Huron Riverettes.
Well, I tell you, Nick, I usually prepare at least 30 hours for our CTN broadcast.
I'd say that's about right for you.
I mean, I have a binder of information I wanted to drop, but these teams, they're not allowing us to get to that binder. This is some good action, my friend.
Yeah, 4-3 match is definitely what you're looking for in a soccer game of the week, most definitely. And we still got a long way to play.
Yeah. I mean, this for both squads, and if coaches want to get tape coachable moments, man, they've had a handful on both benches.
Most definitely. Yeah, lots of really nice things to look at, and some opportunities to improve on both sides.
That's some good effort there by that Skyline defenders. All in play. Straight line across.
Yep. They swarmed the ball but didn't all clump to it. Did a really nice job of finding that. And that allows something like this to happen in transition.
Whoa. That was some great work there by Sims. Some nice footwork and how he got around the Huron defender. That was sweet.
Sims got some sweet kicks going on down there. I'm not entirely sure what color they are. They might be salmon, maybe. I don't know, but they look good. They look good under this great lighting.
Man, shoe game has really stepped up. It's the Drew Lauder effect. I mean, he's owned it.
Sure.
I mean, there's only certain people that could change at halftime.
Offsides there by Shaner. Right.
I mean, and Lauder made it a thing.
I feel like soccer's always had some great cleat action over the years. You know, so much of the game is inspired by European players.
Oh, sure.
And those dudes, they know flair.
Well, they know flop.
Well,
I mean, but you're right. I mean, that's part of it, right? Look good, play good.
That's right.
Great work
Tyler
here.
Warren dancing around before
that's
getting
gotta
knocked
be
off the ball.
A little frustration there by Hamoud. It's like, I've seen enough of this. And that was just a frustration shove.
Yeah, you can only see so much dancing around in your box area before somebody's going to get pushed. We'll have Goebel setting up that wall while the two Eagle players discuss what's going on. There's Warren.
Get out.
Yeah, he was already kind of on his way. He was already kind of on his way down, so just a little extra contact didn't help that situation very much. But here we've got Tyler Warren and Chris Emerson discussing what the game plan is here on this indirect kick.
And watch Bailey on the backside. He is scoping out everything. He's eyeballing the far side of the cage to come back in.
Right at it. Nice shot. Great job of faking that one through and then getting an actual opportunity on the goalkeeper.
Solid effort on the strike, too. You saw it had some pepper on it and some movement.
Yeah, that little bit of a drop there, that knuckleball is really nice when you get that off your toe properly.
I like the creativity, too, in that. That said, I mean, that shows that, A, keeps your players involved when you're not just doing these old school conventional starts. And it keeps the defense on its toes as well.
Well, just that little bit of misdirection, just like in football, goes a long way. When you see this guy out of the corner of your eye cutting out, you take your eye off the ball, it's just a little bit different. Especially when it's Emerson, yeah.
Watch to see the first step opened up the lane.
That entire wall broke open when they saw Emerson cut across them, yeah, and that gave that opportunity for him to get that shot, to get that clear look into Goebels. You're exactly right.
Did you see my finger telestrator?
I did like that.
I mean, you can probably see it at home, too, because I've got a big finger. But
we can put that in post, maybe. I don't know.
Right there.
Number 4, Riley Macy Jackski, and number 18, Alex Sosasanti.
We got some more substitutions coming in for the Riverettes. Alex Sasatani is one of the players, another sophomore.
I like that name, Sasatani. We're
Yeah,
going to be
rolls
saying
off
that.
the
I
tongue.
mean, come on, man.
Rolls
That
off
makes
the
me
tongue.
I'm a little hungry.
Right.
Want some Sasatani? Man, I want some double.
4, Riley Macy Jackski, and number 18, Alex Sosasanti.
18, Alex Sasatani. 19, Riley Macy Jackski. 20, Alex Sasatani. 21, Riley Macy Jackski. 22, Alex Sasatani. 23, Riley Macy Jackski. 24, Alex Sasatani. 25, Alex Sasatani. 26, Alex Sasatani. 27, Riley Macy Jackski. 28, Alex Sasatani. 29, Riley Macy Jackski. 30, Alex Sasatani. 31, Riley Macy Jackski. 32, Alex Sasatani. 33, Riley Macy Jackski. 34, Alex Sasatani. 35, Riley Macy Jackski. 36, Alex Sasatani. 37, Riley Macy Jackski. 38, Alex Sasatani. 39, Riley Macy Jackski. 40, Alex Sas
to see a nice send pass there from the center mid. A little too much, though. Goebel swallows that one up and tries to find his man and try to start a transition play.
Good job coming up, cutting that off from the Skyline defenders. They cover good ground there.
Oh, most definitely. And the Eagles continuing their attack, doing a really nice job keeping the pressure on the River Rats. They're pressuring well with the ball, but they're not really pressing a lot of their players. I mean, they've still got 2 guys playing back. And really, they're 2 other defenders, not too much in front of the 50-yard line.
It really felt like there were more attackers
Right.
there on that play.
Right. That was a big aspect of Troy Athens' victory against the Eagles earlier this weekend. They pressed up like crazy. They were only leaving 1 or 2 players back, and they were just pushing all their men forward, and it was just more than the Rats could handle. Eagles would be more than happy to play this possession game and really just wait for their opportunities to present themselves.
You know, and Huron, they're a good counterpuncher. So this not just plays into their play, but they want you to kind of come into their Charlotte's Web. You know, they're playing possum. They're sitting back, playing good, solid defense, and that's part of Coach Gomez's MO. He wants his guys to get a turnover, possess the ball, but not chase it.
True, and I mean, if you think about it, there's still 18:40 left to go. Most coaches will tell their players to break the games down into 5-minute chunks. And when you start thinking about it in that way, there's still three little periods and then some. Exactly. So wait for the game to come to you. If they want to play this things a little bit slow, they can do that.
So our first player looks like the first cramp over on the sideline. We were talking about the fact that it was a warm night, and they're going to stop the clock on this one.
Due to an injury.
Mundar Chen, there's the one.
He's another one of those young
rolling around.
sophomores that for the Rats. I'm not sure if because the way he's moving, it doesn't look like he has a cramp. It looks like he had gotten run
Could be an
into.
ankle. Yeah, he doesn't really want to put too much pressure on that right ankle. Putting a little bit of weight onto it. It's nothing too bad, but you know.
Yeah,
that
you
guy's
can
feeling
see
a
he's
little
tiptoeing
sore.
into the
Yeah,
bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old rolling of the ankle, and they tell you to tighten up the tighten up the shoe.
Yeah, that only
First
goes
thing you
so
want to
far.
do is
Right.
take the shoe off.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing you can do because that's where all the blood will rush
Yep,
through.
that's exactly right. That's when things start to get bloated down there. Let's see if we can see what happened to Chen exactly. He just came down. Yep, there it is. Just
Non-player
came right
contact
down.
injury.
He really got up to get that head on that, but yeah, coming down there, not a great feeling.
And you saw his left hand kind of flail back, like he was kind of feeling out for maybe a defender behind him.
Right. Well, it's definitely a rarity on the soccer pitch when you go up for a header and there's no one anywhere near you. You know, there's a lot of other dudes out there. More often than not, somebody is either there or coming for you, one way or the other. So yeah, he had a lot of space, and I think you're right. That might have been his thought process when he was coming down for a
A
landing.
little bit of balancer.
Yep. Seems to be probably going to be okay there, though. So it might be the last time we see Mr. Chen this evening, though.
Substitution for the Eagles, number 5, Conway Stead.
And here we see that counterattack, that counter punch right there by the Rats. Just blasts that one into the dead of night.
Yeah, that was an opportunity there for Bowman to go for the Hattie. And if he really possessed the ball before he let loose of the kick, I think the netminder was definitely out of position here. One fint right here, fake right here, and go around him.
Yeah, as opposed to throwing that big
'Cause look
boot
at
on
it, he's
you're
going
right,
for the tackle.
Just might be smart to receive it, give it a little tap, either right or left, honestly.
Yeah,
And then
because
he's got
he
all
had
his
really
momentum moving that
committed.
direction.
The goalkeeper committed himself to the left, coming out, and redirection to the center of the field. It's easy kick with the left foot.
But once again, when you do commit as a goalkeeper, when you do stick with that instinct and don't second guess yourself, you can make other players make mistakes. And there is not a mistake, just a monster shot by Shaner there, right in front of the net, buries another goal for the Eagles.
Bryce Shaner, I mean, he's had many opportunities right in front. This one, he didn't. This was a no-doubter. I mean, it found the center of the net. If there's a bullseye in the back of the net, that's what he hit.
And he was in the middle of traffic here, as we'll see. That ball just kind of scoots out.
Look at this.
Real happy accident right there, and both of those defenders right in the middle of 3 guys.
So much momentum and power in that shot. I mean, he really teed it up.
Yeah, excellent job of Shaner grabbing the bull by the horns there, being aggressive going for that, and not holding anything back on that shot.
And again, if we can hear that, because not just seeing it on replay, but maybe even hearing it.
Yeah.
I mean, because he has a big foot.
Yeah.
And you can even still, on that kick there, it sounds different when it's coming off of his foot.
Oh, definitely. Just sounds great down in that little valley down there as well. Yep, good echo. Sasatani getting the ball in. Great job keeping possession there by Eagle midfielder. Conley Stead was the one that got this whole possession moving forward. Tried to feed it into Shaner one more time, but just a little too much touch on that pass.
Kind of feels like in the stadium that last goal took a little bit of the energy out of the Rats. You said it breaks down into 3 periods of 5 minutes each. They're going to have to win these next couple to get back into the match.
Yep. Yeah, still 15:41 left to go. Plenty of those little chunks left for either squad, really. But 8 goals on a Tuesday evening, that's something to be said.
That's early season stuff around here because both of these coaches, they preach defense.
Sure.
They're not the squad that are going to go out there and put this type of display on night in, night out. They really play sound passing and possession style.
Well, and like you said, they're not playing overly aggressive either. They're not like dumping all of their center mids in. They're not bringing all their midfielders in. They're not bringing all their defenders in. They're just getting things done with their forwards. And more players getting things done for the Eagles.
And that's what you give some play to right there is Bryce Shaner because it was another nice dime. He dropped it right on a foot on the pass.
And that's Lucas Miller right there, sophomore. Let's see Shaner. Shaner draws the attention of pretty much every defender at that point.
Why not?
Great pass getting it through the defenders there for Miller. And you're right on. Like, Miller was completely set up. Shaner made that play for him, but Miller still buried the ball in the net as he's supposed to do.
Yeah, but that's what a senior forward's supposed to do, Shaner. You just got you just ate, you just got you some goodies, got to let somebody else eat too.
Definitely.
So you're feeding it down to one of his teammates, but the pass, that's not just the first pass we've seen. That's multiple times where the attacker really is put in a position based on the pass to just finish the play.
Well, and that says really what kind of player Shaner is because we've seen him with the big boot over and over and over again tonight, and then he just had the perfect touch. On that one, threading the defenders, getting it to his player who was cutting forward. Just really well done. And once again, since we have seen him with that big boot so many times tonight, he just drew the attention of 3-4 defenders, and another player like Miller might just be kind of like lost in the shuffle at that point.
So as a coach out there for Coach Gomez looking at the film on this game, I mean, as you can take a look at Nico Chow going to the bench there with a quick injury. Hopefully he might make it back out. But Nick, what are you thinking? You still got a lot of time in this match, but now your opponent just doubled you up.
I mean, for me, if I'm any sort of a coach, what I just tell my guys is to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. We're not going to change our game plan. Yeah, granted, we're down by 3, but great save there by Bennett to keep his team up by 3. Quick reflexes, quick jab off of his feet. Man, that was some circus stuff down there. Great job by Bennett.
Haven't called his name all night, but when you do, wow.
It was exciting. That's something to see. You see Goebel receiving that pass. Getting back to it, I'm not changing my game plan. Oh, here we go. We'll see that shot. Nice job by Bowman. Cuts through those defenders. He's got a wide open shot. And just an excellent leap there, hitting that with his off hand there, his left hand there, knocking that ball away.
Yeah, and the rebound was right there for Batista, but he just was a little slow on the react for the putback.
I mean, that ball came sailing off of his hand,
it was hard.
though. Here's Shaner one more time.
And Shaner is just like Bailey is for the Rats. He's a bigger player. Oh, and he has power in those legs. When that ball is coming off, it's coming off with steam and some MPHs, man.
And something else that's noteworthy of Shaner right now, he seems to be getting stronger as the game goes forward. I mean, he just keep hammering shot. And we've talked about it. It's hot out there. He's been out there the entire match, and he's still keeping this up with 13 minutes left to go in this game.
Well, it does make a difference as opposed to having a one-score match when you can double up an opponent, and you can that kind of says a little bit of extra when you're talking about the match down the road too. You said, hey, you remember when we got together out there on the pitch? I did what I had to do.
Yep. Yes, you are exactly correct about that. We've got 12:40 left to go here at CTN's Game of the Week. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Ball played out of bounds. Another Rat player. We'll see if we can shoot that in. Now the Eagles definitely happy to just clear that ball out.
And you can see, I mean, now it's strategy. It's part of the strategy, really.
Well, even at this point, there's nothing wrong with letting the Eagles get the ball. Getting the River Rats get the ball and play with possession, because that has not been their strong point tonight. Their best opportunities have been in transition. Their best opportunities have been counter punches. They're not a team that's come down offensively and done a great job as attacking as a squad. But attacking as a squad is exactly what the Eagles do, flying forward. Big shot there by Chris Emerson. His turn to show what he can do as a captain.
This second half has been a ton of shots on net. I mean, these guys have been unleashing from every which direction. And Goebel, he's probably faced more balls than Tibbetts did.
I would say so. Whether they've been shots on him or not is one thing, but they've definitely been coming his way.
Yeah.
They've been peppering. You're completely correct about that.
Well, the two netminders, the keepers for both the Rats, they're going to be tired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They got to work out tonight.
Yep.
I mean, seriously. We still got a full, last quarter of this half to play.
Yeah, they'll be watering down and icing tonight for sure. See Sims working his magic once again. Getting over to Emerson. And still, the patience game is right there for the Eagles. They're more than happy to give and go or just try to find somebody open and work it around, kick the ball back. It's totally fine.
And I'm not sure if it's just right now, but you can hear the Eagle players. Good communications going on out there. And likewise, you're not hearing anything from the Rat side. You hear the, hey, Mario, I'm open. They're communicating because they're still into this match.
Yeah, it's so huge, that communication, especially early on in the season. Eventually, communication will be less and less just because your guy's going.
Where they at?
You know when he's sending. You know when I need to send you, etc. But right now, you need that send me. Me. Back, whatever it is.
That's good stuff.
Coming into 10 minutes now to play left in this second half. Skyline Eagles have taken a commanding lead here in this one at home on their brand new field turf, as you mentioned.
It looks great, too.
It's great.
I mean, that Eagle is right there in the middle. I mean, that's the next thing that I think that they're going to have to get. They have the best, let's just say, announcer. He's top 3. He's top 3. I never put best on anybody other than my broadcast partner here, folks.
Thank you.
But he's top 3. You got this nice new field. Bob Wellman, where is the Eagle sounder? Come on, man. Step it up. I'm calling you out.
Waiting for
Come
that
on,
one.
Mr. AD. It needs to be, something. I mean, come on. Why stop with the new field?
I support that. I support pretty much all animal noises in sports, so I'm with that.
Oh, especially this high school. It has history of salamanders. If you're an Ann Arbor person, you know what I'm talking about.
I guess I don't.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. They had to move endangered species of salamanders that were indigenous to this turf.
Really? Huh. Where'd
Before
they
they
put them?
moved this. I don't know. I think they shipped them to Ipsy.
You would have thought that. That's funny. You would have thought they would have named the team the Salamanders then at that point, right?
Eagles ate them.
Okay, I get it. I understood that.
There you go.
I like it.
Top of the food chain, baby.
That's right. Apex predators.
Wow.
And here we see the Eagles just doing what they've been doing this entire match, playing great possession ball.
And we've mentioned this several times tonight, but I'll say it again. I think both teams are going to come away with a lot of tape.
Oh, definitely.
And a lot of good things that they can peel from this match to replicate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're the Eagles, why aren't we scoring this many goals every opportunity?
Sure.
I mean, because some of those passes we were talking about, pinpoint passes right on the attacker, we should be doing more of that.
Mm-hmm.
For the River Rats, they may have found their netminder. I mean, you're talking about going back and forth to the defenders in front, but the defenders in front, sometimes you play a little bit harder with what's behind you. So, I mean, a lot of good information is going to come from this early season match for both sides.
Oh, yeah, and the Rats, once again, like, even though they have given up 6 goals, like, they've got a lot of positives to come from this as well.
Oh, sure. I like the way that they have Bowman out there on the attack. He's a guy that he could still come away in this match with a hat trick. Strong, powerful. You see it right there on the kick. Is that a handball?
I believe it was.
Yeah, and a bunch of the defenders that we touted coming into tonight, it just wasn't their night. I mean, certain nights you're just not going to have your good stuff. And for the River Rats backline defenders, this wasn't one of their best nights.
No, I would say that you're probably right about that. But once again, they were kind of at the mercy of what the Eagles did to them. When you've got Shaner taking shots, just blasts from 10, 12 yards out, not a lot you can do about that. When you've got players like Sims creating, when you've got players like Picoit's creating and getting opportunities for other guys, and then even when the youngsters are putting the ball in the net, there's just not a lot you can do about it.
And somebody playing center field like Christopher Emerson, he's been sweeping in and coming in, just a full squad effort for Chris Morgan for his game.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. 110 yards from front to back. That's what they've been doing all night long. Every player has contributed, and yeah, it's a team win for the Eagles right now, if things stay as they are. Coming up on 6 minutes left to play here in this second half.
And even Daniel Bennett got into the action with that great save for the Eagles. I mean, I tell you, they really cresting the field against the River Rats, because it's the first time they've played the Rats on this field in a way that they'll remember for a while.
Right. I'm sure it's a game the Rats will want to forget quickly.
Number 14, Henry Lucella.
And credit, like you said, to the Rats when the goals came, the first 2 goals for Skyline. You were sitting back thinking, uh-oh. But the Rats, they came back, and Bailey cut the shot, the score in half.
By number 1, Elliott.
But yeah, the Rats did a great job of answering a few of those times as well.
And that it was a very good, solid 10-minute period in that first opening half where it was basically a 1-1 match.
Here we got a nice point-blank lefty shot there. Great job by Golden staying in front of that and then maintaining his position, getting right back into position so that he could at least deter that second shot coming his way. But, standing in front of that one, not fun. His hands might be stinging regardless of those gloves.
So you're saying the ball hurts?
that might be breaking news, but yes, that might sting a bit.
Wow, there's a contact right there. Physical play we hadn't seen all night.
Yeah, that's the problem when you get those header balls. It's very easy for a player to come up and under you, especially if the player's a little bit smaller.
Well, we had talked about that earlier when one of the Rat defenders went up for a header and injured himself. I think it was Hamoud. He came down and just twisted that ankle.
Yep. Eagles continuing their attack and continue their talking, like you said. That was Henry Lucella coming through. Me, right after the send, exactly.
And these are different players that started the match. So really using the entire roster is Coach Morgan. You know, you see a lot of different folks out here on the attack now that we didn't see in the thick of the match. And that's a good thing of a program like the Skyline Eagles have. You can come out on the team and you're not going to just, be a part of the practices. Be on the team. You're going to play.
Yeah, definitely. And early on, you've got to get, you've got to stay away from any injuries to your club so everybody gets a chance to play. You're completely right. And even if those minutes get a little bit shorter as the season progresses for some of those sophomores, this is still varsity level experience for them for next year and the year after. And that's the whole trick. Is that's how a program is built. That's not how you don't just have a team or a club. You've got a program that year after year is successful and you can count on doing the right thing. We've had a lot of players out there for the Eagles doing the right thing. We really need to figure out who our player of the game may be.
It's going to be tough, man. I mean, seriously. Going straight on goals, you'd say Kellerman, right? But I don't know if it's just goals because some of those passes were the thing that led to the goals.
Definitely.
And some of the assists outshined, some of these goals that we've seen. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough choice tonight.
No, right you are. I mean, obviously the putting the ball in the net is huge, but the way that it gets made, the way that it gets created, and everything that goes into it can be twice or sometimes 3 times as much as that effort. That effort continues for the Eagles. No letting up for those guys, and there's a send right past the defenders. Stays on side. Goebbels gobbles it up. Yeah. I've been waiting for that.
30 hours of prep, people. 30 hours of prep. That came in 29:95 on the clock. I mean, that was last minute.
Get in what I can.
Right.
Shot clock, right? Rats more than content to just blast that one out of their zone.
That's a strong kick, too.
Great kick.
Yeah.
Well, really nice job by Bowman to field that one properly. And here we got one last opportunity for the Rats, maybe. Sam's never really got that one under control. Really never got his body and his foot in the same general location.
Yeah, that's because of Jake Carlson came back into the play there. Good job of coming back into the action for the junior.
You see Bailey one more time trying to get something started. Eagles moving this one around. And with 1 minute to go, I would like to take a minute to thank everybody that makes this broadcast happen. Got our camera operators up, just sweating to death up above us. We got Taylor Eads and Tim Nagai. In the booth, we got audio replay, Brittany Schember. And our great director, Rob Cross.
He's back.
He's back. Of course he's back. Leading the way. He's like the general. He's the patent of the CTN Game of the Week.
Well, I'm going to leave this first one up to you, Nick. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Woo! Another opportunity there.
If you had one person, who's the key player of the game?
For my money, I think it's Shaner. I think we saw a lot of really great stuff from him. I think he did. He just seemed to be in the thick of every single big play for the Eagles. There's a punch away there by Goebbels.
Well, we'll get to see what he has to say about this match tonight.
As we will. So, while the match has concluded, this CTN Game of the Week broadcast has not. Please stick around, everybody. Kevin Bryant will be down with our player of the game in just a moment.
Soccer will be back home on September 12th, and they'll play against Huron.
And welcome back to the CTN Sports Game of the Week, our first of the year. And this man right here, Bryce Shaner, is our player of the game with a couple key plays. But it was off of your foot that really impressed my broadcast partner, Nick. It wasn't just the goal that you put in, but a couple of those passes. Can you tell us what you're thinking out there and how you accomplished those feats?
I mean, when my players on my team make good runs, it's easy for me to find them. Like the first assist I had gave me a run across the back line. It was easy for me to see him. And Lucas made a great run along the backside, and I was able to play him through. So props to my teammates for those.
Well, and you guys had a great team effort. I mean, from the netminder, he had a great save, but it was a lot of possession balls, and you guys were on the attack tonight.
Yeah.
Was that the plan going in?
I mean, yeah, we saw some of this team's results, and we thought we could score a lot of goals, but yeah, we obviously wasn't the result we were really hoping for, but we're happy to get the win. So.
Well, anytime you can double up an opponent, don't complain too much. Well, thanks a lot. Congratulations again on being our CTN Key Player of the Game.
Thank you.
All right, man, I'm going to send it back up to you to close this one out, Nick. Thanks a lot.
And thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Bryce. And thank you, everybody at home, for tuning in or getting us those clicks on YouTube. Once again, from Skyline Eagles, we've got the Eagles 6 beating the Huron River Rats by 3. Thank you very much, folks, and we will see you next time on CTN's Game of the Week.